The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hey everybody, my name is General Mike Flynn, and I'm here to do a big shout out for my great friend and one of the best in the business, Mr. Doug Billings. Right Side with Doug Billings, Right Side with Doug Billings. Doug is the future of the airwaves when it comes to independent broadcasters and podcasters. He is the new Rush Limbaugh. He's exactly what America needs right now, looking for honesty, looking for wisdom, looking for truth, looking for patriotism. Listen to Doug Billings at Right Side with Doug Billings. God bless you and God bless America, and thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are winning. We're winning, winning, winning. Welcome to The Right Side with Doug Billings. Are you ready?
We are not liberal snowflakes who melt away in the face of tragedy, adversity, and challenge. We are a covenant nation under God, and his divine providence is not dead and it's not gone. It is living within each and every one of you. And you will bring it to life in such a way that the world has never seen before. We never back down. We never give up. We march forward.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Right Side with Doug Billings. Today on the program, Senator Rick Brattin from the state of Missouri. For those of you that watch the show, you'll probably recall that is my home state. I was born and raised in the Kansas City area, so I always keep my view on, my peripheral view, my direct view on home, on the home state of Missouri. And this week, some jackassery going on out of Jefferson City. If you're from Raytown, Missouri, that's the capital of your state. Thank you very much. But some jackassery out of that state in the Senate, and it is the reason or the result of RINOs, the RINO class, specifically Caleb Rowden and Cindy O'Laughlin. We have, for as long as this show has been on, for 4 years, talked about the problems of RINOs within our ranks, Republicans in name only, who are beholden to big money from outside state lines. And it doesn't matter if you live in Missouri or not, ladies and gentlemen, this is pertinent to wherever you are. The RINO problem needs to be addressed. We talk about how to identify them, the litmus tests, and so forth. Many of you have heard me say, back in the COVID days, it was simple. The litmus test was fairly simple. I would say to you, because people would come up to me all the time and say, how do you know somebody's a RINO, Doug? And I would say to them, well, if they don't believe that there was election fraud in 2020, that person is a RINO. If they believe in medical tyranny, lockdowns, shutdowns, mandatory jabs and masks, that kind of thing, that person is a RINO. We're talking about people who pretend to be a Republican in the elected class. Today, there's the neocon element. That's the Nikki Haley class, right? She's a RINO, ladies and gentlemen. Nikki Haley is not our friend if you are a true American conservative. And apparently, neither is Caleb Rowden or Cindy O'Laughlin in the state of Missouri. Influenced by outside state big money, holding up legislation. They have a super majority in the state of Missouri, the Republicans do. On paper, they should be able to get everything they want done, and it should be America first / Missouri first. And yet, this group of people holds up, these RINOs hold up the progress that you, the people, want. In fact, Cindy O'Laughlin said that you, grassroots people, shouldn't even bother with the intricacies of government in the state capitol. Just go back home and worry about your school boards. I mean, it's a real tragedy. And we're here not to throw anybody under the bus, but to help wake people up. So today, in this segment of the program, Senator Rick Brattin from the state of Missouri, former Marine, married, 5 kids, and has, in his view, a new calling to serve his state, thereby serving his country. And so we appreciate that. And right now, let's get to the interview that I had earlier today with Senator Rick Brattin from the great state of Missouri. Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Right Side with Doug Billings. Today on the program, Senator Rick Brattin from Missouri, my home state. And what a debacle in Jefferson City, Missouri. If you're from Raytown, Missouri, that's the capital of Missouri. Thank you very much. We're going to talk with Rick about what is happening. And Rick, welcome to the program, first of all.
Hey, thanks for having me, Doug. Really appreciate it.
So Missouri, everybody that watches the show I knows that I'm from Missouri, born and raised in the Kansas City area. I tease Raytown a little bit. I grew up in Grandview, and so I tease Raytown a bit. But we watched yesterday and the day, well, this week in general, some of the shenanigans that are going on in the Missouri Senate, headed up by a couple of RINOs, Caleb Rowden and Cindy O'Laughlin, people that are charading as Republicans and part of the problem of RINOism in the state. Can they've acted out childlessly. We've seen this in DC. We've seen it in other places whereby the leaders of any given legislative body would reassign people who head up committees because they didn't vote the right way or because they're viewed by the uniparty as a danger to their hold on power. Over in Kansas, we saw the same thing, and now in Missouri. Can you explain? You're one of the founding members of the Missouri Freedom Caucus. And a former Marine, 5 kids. You and your wife view what you're doing now currently as a calling to save America, to get us back on track in a true conservative fashion. So tell us what is going on. Tee up and explain to us what's going on in the Senate in the state of Missouri, because I have a feeling many people in many states are experiencing the same thing.
I mean, we're experiencing in Missouri what everyone's experiencing nationwide and in DC. It's the uniparty, and they're being called out. We formed the Freedom Caucus this year because we are sick and tired of the business as usual type approach to governing, to continue to do Democrat things, yet running as Republicans. And now that we're being loud, we're being boisterous, we're exposing them. It's the light shining on the cockroaches, and they seethe with hatred, and they will go to any lengths possible to silence you or anyone that calls it out. And that's what's happening right here before everyone's eyes in the Missouri State Senate. Yep. So
I know we were talking just briefly before we came on the air here, and I was explaining to you, just giving you a history of where I come from. The RINO problem is probably, and one could make an argument that it's more significant than the Democrat problem that we face in America. We have people who pretend to be Republican, who are part of the establishment, who are in politics, not because like you and others in Missouri, Denny Haskins, Bill Eigert, just to name a couple, Holly Jones on the House side, who are conservative men and women who have left careers, left other walks of life to come in as the founders envisioned to serve the country with true conservative values and principles. And we have here now this uniparty. I don't even think Democrats, especially in D.C., I don't think they're really Democrats. I think they've blended communism and socialism together, and I've referred to them as the Commu-Socialist Party. They clearly are not a pro-America political party. I mean, evidence of the obvious is sufficient. You can look around at this. I mean, begin with the border and go everywhere from there. It's anti-America. But in Missouri, what caused this week's uproar? You and others were eliminated from your committee leadership roles, and your offices were either moved or taken away. You guys, your parking spots were taken away. You have to park, a mile, a football field or 2 or 3 a length away. They're threatening to take your furniture. I mean, is this grade school, or is it the Missouri State Senate? What happened to cause all this?
Well, because we were wanting to force the top priority in the state of Missouri, which is initiative petition reform. So the radical left is trying to put on the ballots, surpass the legislature and put on the ballots partial birth abortion, and to legalize it, not just legalize it, but to put it and enshrine it in our Constitution. And it's a broken system, and it's a 4-alarm fire that we have to address, and address it right now. Don't wait till the last day of session. So we've been standing and filibustering, trying to force IP reform to the forefront, to be the first thing that's done to protect life in the state of Missouri. And the uniparty, and especially the Republicans, are balking. They're not wanting to do it. They don't have any interest, honestly, in doing what is the number one priority that we've even determined to be. So that's what has them extremely angry. Is we've got them on notice. We've got them in front of everyone, showing that they're wanting to stall, wanting to block, and that's what's created this whole dumpster fire. So yeah, we've lost our parking spots. They're threatening to even potentially take our staff away, gut our budgets. But my staff even said if they do that, I'm still showing up to work. We're still going to fight this fight. We're going to take this in jest and make fun of just how ridiculous and ludicrous and what kind of kindergarten clowns that they really are. And America sees it, and they know what's going on, and they're mad, and they want fighters, and that's what we are.
Within the state of Missouri, and I follow certain Republican committee groups on social media and on Signal and so forth. There, almost all of the Missouri Republican committee groups, the grassroots groups, the official state representative committee people groups within Missouri are all revolting against and speaking up out against Caleb Roden and Cindy O'Laughlin, just to name a couple of the people who have been instrumental on the RINO side of the aisle. What is this? And I also hear rumblings about the FRA, the Federal Reimbursement Act, that some of you voted against, and they got all pissy because of that. And that act would have veiled the ability for abortion funding to come in. I might be getting this wrong, and I'll depend on you to explain it. But from a high level, I understand it to be that some money would have been allowed, therefore, to flow into Missouri from federal abortions. And isn't it interesting that in Missouri, which is a right to life state, the only Planned Parenthood building in the state is right across the street from Washington University, which is a university that trains physicians to go do and conduct abortions. So one just wonders if somehow these people are in cahoots. Is there any truth is my speculation about the FRA on target, or is that not so much?
Yeah, it's not just the Wash U crowd. It's not the anti-life or the pro-death crowd that's for this. It's also the hospitals that are fighting against us and adding the pro-life language. I mean, it's a scheme where they tax hospitals, send it to the federal government, and they send billions of dollars back in the form of Medicaid. So we want to put pro-life protections to ensure that from conception to natural death, life is protected. That's been the consensus, and that's why we have super majorities. Yet Republicans are fighting tooth and nail to deny pro-life language. They're now wanting to eliminate the sunset, which requires us to revisit this funding. They want to remove that and send it out without pro-life language, to where the federal government can send whatever to whatever organization like Planned Parenthood to fund abortion. And then you top that with, like I stated, where they're trying to put partial birth abortion into our state constitution. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster, and Republicans are so tone deaf to the reality of what they're setting up, and that's why we're fighting so adamantly to protect and try to wake people up.
Well, I salute what you're doing. All of the members of the Missouri Freedom Caucus. I encourage everybody in the audience to go look this, no matter where you live. Go look this up, follow it. We've posted something yesterday on Twitter. I know that you saw it, Rick, and others. We called out Caleb and Cindy, and we're going to continue to do it. And I want to get your opinion on this before we have to say so long. As far as the definition of a RINO, if John and Jane Doe on the streets of Missouri trying to figure out how do I tell if these politicians are RINOs, or I want to vote for true conservative politicians, America first, Missouri first. I have said election integrity, clearly abortion, health freedom. I mean, the jab, the masks, the lockdowns, the election theft issues that we have. If there are people up there that say, oh, no, there was no election fraud, no, that's all nonsense, that's a problem. If they don't talk about, if they hem or they haw about those kinds of issues, you're probably looking at a RINO. Yeah, anything else to add about that with regards to how to identify these people?
Listen for the buts. They'll sit and say on the campaign trail that I'm conservative, but they'll throw in the buts to where it gives them that caveat to be able to go to the left And that's exactly how they operate. They'll tell you one thing, and then they give themselves the out to be able to do the other. So listen to the subtle phrases, but listen for the but when they're giving those speeches. That's what I would recommend.
One of the things I noticed yesterday was that there, everybody wants these bills and these initiatives that you guys are trying to put together and legislate. They want them to go to committee so they can be discussed. And so Caleb Roden says after he fires you guys, basically after he eliminates, he removed you guys from your committee leadership roles. Then he sends a slew of things to committee just so he can say, look, I sent them to committee, but he'd already gotten rid of the people that we want there to lead those committees, right?
Yeah. Oh, he got rid of us, but that just frees up our time to be able to plan and to really force this issue. But note, last year he didn't even refer the bills till the end of session, so he was acting like he was a speaker of the House. So at least by us fighting and making this a big issue, he referred all the bills. So we claim that as a victory to at least see the bills make it to a committee. Now, are they going to make it out of a committee? Well, probably not if they're a good conservative piece of legislation and policy. But that at least gives us one notch in the belt to show that, hey, we're being effective in getting these things at least moving in the process. So it was a small victory, but I see it as also a tactic where they're going to still try to kill legislation.
All right. Well, I encourage everyone, especially in the state of Missouri, to follow Senator Rick Brattin here. Senator, where can people find you, both for your, as far as your office is concerned, emails, and then on social media? Where can they find you?
So you can on official Rick at Rick Brattin Rick Brattin at senate.mo.gov, and then you can go to Rick Brattin online on social media. On both Twitter and on Facebook, just type in my name. It'll pop up as a public figure. You can follow us. You can go to the Missouri Freedom Caucus. Get on that Twitter handle. You can get on Facebook as well. Follow to see what the Freedom Caucus is doing and our calls to action, so you can be involved and be a part of that process. So the people's involvement is so critical right now. We can't do this alone without the people getting involved, letting their voice be heard. So I have to give that shout out to the people that realize what's going on. You have to let your voice be heard right now.
Right. The grassroots movement is crucial to all. It goes without saying. And that reminds me of something just outrageous that Cindy O'Loughlin said once. She said, well, the people of the grassroots shouldn't meddle in politics. They should just go back home and just worry about their school boards. She's on record as actually saying that nonsense. And this is, again, the kind of people we're up against. It's crazy. On Tuesday, you have a big event in Jefferson City.
We do at 11 a.m. We're doing a huge rally, grassroots, to come down and really call to action the people to go to their leaders and tell them to start acting like Republicans and acting like the supermajority that you are. So if you can come down, take the time off. It'll be a great time. We're going to hopefully have a big lineup of speakers there. But if anything, just so you can get in front of your elected representative and senator and call them to task to get in line.
All right. Well, as I thought, we planned on 5 to 6 minutes, and here we are pushing up against 15. You could go on forever about these kinds of things. Rick, I appreciate you taking out time. I know it's a busy time for you. We look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Good luck, and God bless you. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Thanks, Doug.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Rick Brattin, Senator Rick Brattin from the state of Missouri. God bless you. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that you could change the trajectory of your aging process? Look and feel better, live younger, be more active, less pain when you move around, sleep better, diminish the lines and the wrinkles on your face? Really? This is what I'm telling you. It's possible. You see, low stem cell activity happens when we get older. And it could be causing many of the health problems that some people have in the world today. Because as we get older, we have less stem cell activity, which means we age faster and we heal slower. The secret is a clinically proven and patented phototherapy non-transdermal patch, whose technology is the result of over 90 clinical studies and over 20 years of research. Your healthier life can begin today, and you can discover true age reversal. Age reversal, ladies and gentlemen. Please go to liveyoungerwithdoug.us. liveyoungerwithdoug.us, ladies and gentlemen. Get over there today. Or if you'd like, text my name, Doug, to 41372. Doug, text it, 41372, and get over to liveyoungerwithdoug.us. Get younger, feel younger. I'm doing it. I'm wearing this patch. I feel great, and so will you. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. For the Republic. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.
I want to tell you about the good people over at EMP Shield, electromagnetic pulse, ladies and gentlemen. It can fry your home electrical system or your vehicle's electrical system. But if you attach one of these, now this is for your breaker box at home. There's a smaller version that goes on your battery of your car, your vehicle, that will prevent it from being fried in the event of an electromagnetic pulse. Because as you know, thanks to Administrator Biden, many people coming across the border now who don't exactly have the best of intentions. Protect yourself. EMPshield.com. Get huge discounts over there if you use the promo code Doug.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.